start on 16a. And we're starting from the word Eily. Eily means, is it so? You know what it means, is it so? Because the word Ein means yes in Aramaic. It means no. So it's like, is it yes? Eily, is it yes? They used to translate in Yiddish, they would translate that it means no. And it would be, es ist doch nicht azai. But what it means is it really so? It's the same question.
The Canadians say no.
So what we're discussing
What's the 3 words after?
Here we're discussing the statement from Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachmani in the name of Rabbi Yonasan, that there's 7 causes for tzaras.
Right. Are we up to haughtiness?
We did all 7.
We did?
Yeah. Now we're holding by, is it so? Eily, is it so? You got the Kabbalistic...
Sizes. I mean, you just said, I forgot the word, mitzvah or?
Yeah, for tzaras.
What is that?
For leprosy. There's 7 causes of leprosy. It says, V'amar Rabbanani bar Sason, lama nismacha parshas big dekuna la parshas karbanas. In parshas Tetzaveh, where it discusses the big dekuna, it also discusses there the sacrifices that are brought by the inauguration. So it has sacrifices and thank you, beautiful. It has sacrifices and clothing in the same section. And why is the Gemara asks, why are you putting those things together? That means it's right. Gemara says, it's to teach you, just like the sacrifices atone, the clothing also atones. Chaim, do we have a Kabbalistic, Hasidic explanation for this?
That's good. It's all flowing.
Okay.
The clothes make a man.
Mm-hmm. There's an atonement. So it goes like this. Listen to this.
Some kryptonite.
How many clothing are there? There's 8. 8 clothing. So Ksainas.
Superman is only super when he puts on his cape.
1 above 7?
Ksainas, the cloak, mechaperes al shvichas damim. That's an atonement for murder. The ksiv yitlos ksainas badam, as it says by the brothers of Yosef, they dipped his cloak in blood when they brought it back to the father. And the word vayitpalu is associated with atonement. So the garment of the Kohen Gadol, that when he wears that, that's an atonement for murder. Michnasayim, the pants, mechafram gili arayas, that atones for adultery. The ksiv asela michnasei bad lachasas b'sar erva. It says you should make them linen pants to cover over their shamefulness, their erva. Mitznefes, the hat, mechaperes al gas yiroch. That's an atonement for haughtiness. Because Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Chanina.
Since it's so high, it's like a haughtiness, like I'm higher than everyone else.
Right. So yavadavar shebegoiva, you take something that's high, v'yechaper al ma'aseh goiva, and that should atone for acting high.
So it's saying like you shouldn't watch out even though you have that.
So it's exactly. It's exactly the location of it. For positive isn't the atonement for the negative. Because here you're doing it because Hashem commanded, and that's an atonement for other people that are
also
for
everyone. It's like for the whole nation.
Right. Not just for him. Very good. Avneit, the belt, mechaper sal hir alev, is an atonement for thoughts of the heart. It's desires. Ahechadisi, where it's positioned, because it's positioned over the heart.
It's too good.
It's apparently we wear our belts lower, but in those days they must have worn it higher over the heart. Now I noticed over here the Shita Mikubetza says that the Avneit, the Medrash says that they would wrap him up. Oh, interesting.
There's the waist.
There's the waist. Yeah. They would wrap the Kohen Gadol would be wrapped 32 times. Gematria of Lev. Where?
With his belt. Right?
With his belt.
Oh, must have been heavy,
Yeah,
like
so
crazy.
it's really long.
Yeah, it's a long gartel.
It was thick and heavy.
That's what I see in the sheet of
Iron
Mikubetza,
is
if
very
you want to
strong.
see that. What do you say?
Iron is very strong.
That he's very strong. Okay, it says to skip the ksiv, Vayalev Aaron, okay. choshen. What about the plate, the breastplate? That's mechaper al adinim. That atones for judgment or misjudgment. It says you should make the plate of judgment.
So that
It's
one
actually
makes sense.
called the
That
judgment
one makes
plate.
sense because he can ask Hashem. He can ask Hashem so he can.
Yeah, but it must be going on. It's an atonement for other misjudgments that were going on with the Jewish people, I guess.
So it's like a reminder, that this one is that this one he can make up for other ones by.
Right.
And so he's saying if I can make less worse judgments, then it'll make up for the ones that were missed.
I don't think it's referring to the Kohen Gadol's judgments at all. I think it's just referring to the fact that he wore this. That's an atonement while he's wearing it for other judgments that were going on. Ephod is the apron which came up on the back and what came over the shoulders. Mechaper al avodah zarah. That's an atonement for idolatry. T'ksiv ein ephod u'trafim. This in Isaiah it says there's no ephod, there's no apron or trafim, or trafim is for idols. And it sounds like if there's no ephod, then there would be the sin of the idols would be there. Me'il is the apron, is the like the gown, the robe. Mechaper al lashon hara. That's an atonement for gossip, and that's what we're discussing here, gossip. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem says, Yavadav shebekol v'yachaper al ma'aseh hakol. That's something that makes noise, atone for the noise. What's the noise? The lashon hara noise. It's the forehead plate, the plate that goes on the Kohen Gadol's forehead. Mechaper al ma'aseh azipanim. That goes for chutzpah. That's like like he shows his forehead, like brazenness. Ksiv hachavay al metzach Aaron. It says over here it's on Aaron's forehead. Ksiv hasam metzach isha zayna hayalach. The forehead of a woman that's a prostitute was to you. That means someone that has no shame. So our question here is that we said that tzaras comes for lashon hara as an atonement for lashon hara. Here we say no. The me'il is the atonement for lashon hara. Now Rashi says, what about? We said that tzaras comes for other things, for shvichas damim and gilei arayos. We had a whole list of 7 things, and now we have over here different other garments that atone for that. So Rashi discusses that those things. It was clear that other people would be punished if there was murder or adultery going on in the land. That it had what's it called when the collateral damage. As surrounding people also get punished because of that, and that we could explain that the person himself needed the atonement of tzaras, but the surrounding people could get the atonement from the garments of the Kohen Gadol. That we could have explained, but by lashon hara we only thought that those people involved were the ones that were punished. So why do we have 2 atonements for it? The Gemara answers like kasha. It depends. Was he effective or not? When he spoke lashon hara, did it cause a fight? If it caused a fight, then he got the leprosy. If nothing came of it, then there was an atonement from the clothing.
Why? Because then all you have to do is say lashon hara to somebody you know is going to keep the secret, and then you can say it for as long as he wants. It's not going anywhere. It's like Hashem is letting them get away.
Right.
Because there's not going to be one punishment.
Right.
It's not anywhere.
It could be. It's very uncommon.
You think he could walk away if there's no fight? Then
That's what you're supposed to do, is walk away.
Yeah.
If you listen to the lashon hara, then you're part.
No, but it says that if he said lashon hara and there was no fight, then he doesn't get.
And he gets an atonement from the gown. What's it called?
The robe.
The robe. From the robe. The robe of the Kohen Gadol is an atonement. He doesn't actually need to get an affliction on his body. The Kohen Gadol's robe is enough.
So you're saying now since we don't have the Kohen Gadol's robe, now you get punishment.
I don't know. Rab Simon, I'm Rab Shua ben Levi. Rab Simon says, name Rab Shua ben Levi Shnei, Devarim Lemetzin Lem B'Karbanos Kapara. There's two things that we don't have an atonement amongst the sacrifices. However, B'Davar Acher Metzin Lem Kapara, but we do have an atonement from another source. What is that? Shvichas Damim V'Lashon Hara. Murder and gossip. Shvichas Damim Be'Egla Rufa. Murder, the atonement is with the calf, when they break his neck. If they don't know who killed him and he died between cities. Lashon hara b'ketairos. In Lashon hara, the atonement is the ketairos, the incense. The Tanya was taught in a Bais, Rabbi Chanina. Lamadna l'ketairos shemechaperes. We've learned that ketairos atones. The ksiv v'yitin es ketairos v'yechaper alam. He puts the ketairos and it's an atonement for the people. It's this week's parsha.
What sense does it make for the Eglah Rufa to atone for murder? They haven't even identified who it is, so they wouldn't be doing it.
Right. So it's an atonement. We're going to see it's only an atonement for murder when we don't know who did it. It's atonement for the community's murder.
For the community.
That someone murdered, we don't know who it is.
What about embarrassment?
We're going to get to that in one moment.
What happens if?
Wait.
What happens if it died, but like a head was by one, was more by one city, the rest of the body was by the other city?
I don't remember if it says we measured from the head. I think it says we measured from the head. I don't remember. I think so.
Because it looks like he was standing here, and if you knocked his head was there, but he was.
It sounds like a Gemara or a Mishnah. The Tana Dvei Rabbi Yishmael was taught in the house of Rabbi Yishmael. Al makteres mechaperes. For what does the ketairos atone? Al lashon hara. It atones for gossip. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem says, Yavei davar shebechashai. Let this silent matter come. V'yechaper al ma'aseh chashai, and atone for silent, for secretive matter, which is the whispering of the gossip that people say quietly. We see that the ketairos atones. And we said before that what atones? The me'il atones. We said before tzaras atones. So we said, Lekasha, had the yadaman katle. If you know who killed him, then I'm sorry, I skipped the line. Kasha shvichas damim, kasha lashon hara. There's a contradiction between murder and a contradiction between gossip and gossip. In other words, we said that the cloak atones for the murder, and the me'il, the robe, atones for gossip. And here we say that the egla rufa, the broken neck of the calf, atones for murder, and the ketairos atones for gossip. So we said the first question, when it comes to murder, shvichas dam like kasha, that's not a question. Hadi yadaman katle, he knows who murdered him. Then the cloak atones. If he doesn't know who murdered him, then you use the egla, the broken neck of the calf. The Gemara asks, the other man katle, bar katalo, if you know who killed him, you don't use the cloak. Yeah, he goes to court and he gets capital punishment if we know who the murderer was. The Gemara says, b'meizid v'layasrbe. Talking about that he killed on purpose, but he wasn't warned. So somehow he's always able to get out of this. They catch him on tax evasion.
He still gets punishment, but he doesn't die. He still gets a punishment, but he doesn't die, right?
Right. Well, he's not put to death by the court.
Right.
The Gemara now says, lashon hara like kasha. And gossip, what about that? Ha b'tzina, ha b'farhasya. There's two types of gossip. There's gossip on the social media, and then there's gossip from private texts. One is quiet and one is in public. Shmuel bar Nadav mi Rabbi Chanina. Shmuel bar Nadav asks from Rabbi Chanina. Rabbi Chanina is a very early sage. We had him yesterday, Rabbi Chanina bar Chama. Yesterday we had Rabbi Chama bar
Lashon hara
Chanina.
is when you say the truth?
The way it's divided up in the Chavetz Chaim is lashon hara is the truth. Mitzvah Shemra is the lie.
So what's Rechilas?
Rechilas, according to the Chavetz Chaim, was when someone says what another person spoke about him. Do you know what so and so is talking about you? That's Rechilas. So it's
Regardless if it's
creating
true or not
negative feelings between these other people. Lashon hara doesn't have to associate to other people. Lashon hara could be, you know what so and so did last night. That's lashon hara if it's true.
It's always like damage also.
Rechilas is when you create hard feelings between two people by saying, you know what so and so was saying about you.
Tailbearing. Tailbearing.
Uh-huh.
But then the thing we took back, 3 people were killed,
Right.
matches more with Rechilas than interpretation in Lashon Hara.
Right. Unless there were different interpretations for the 3 people.
All right.
You could have
yeah,
learned it
that
like this, you
also,
learn it
yeah.
like that. So Reb Shmuel Bar Nadav asked from Rabbi Chanina. Oh, it's interesting that people say, you say, isn't this lashon hara? They say no, it's true. V'amila,
It's true, even if it's true.
right. That's what I'm saying. It's still lashon hara.
Yeah.
There are 7 exceptions when to say lashon hara. There's 7 conditions, and when you're dealing with doing business with someone or shidduchim or things important information.
Is Moiti Shema Kal V'chaymer from Lashon Hara? As far as the severity of it?
Yeah.
It's another whole
Yeah.
animal.
Right. But I think the condition. No, that doesn't make sense. That that Moiti Shema should ever be allowed because it's not true. But Lashon Hara has these conditions.
All these things that it says about Lashon Hara, does it also apply to Moiti Shema?
Yeah, that's my assumption. But you have these conditions. Conditions are like, you have to know the information firsthand. You can't hear it from someone else. You cannot give any interpretation on the events. You can only cite the event.
I like some of
In other words, you can't give any commentary.
What happens if you say Lashon Hara to the actual person?
Oh, I know what you did.
Yeah, so then I did this.
It doesn't seem that that's lashon hara.
But
Yes,
if
we're going to see soon. We're going to see soon.
What do you say?
It would just
Doctor?
be an insult, but we'll see soon. Okay, V'amila Reb Shmuel Bar Nadav Chasni de Rabbi Chanina. Some say that Reb Shmuel Bar Nadav, the son-in-law of Rabbi Chanina, asked Rabbi Chanina. V'amila Rabbi Shua ben Levi, and some say that he asked from Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Also very early Amayra. It's actually quoted in the Bais. Manishtana Mitzayra. Why is a Mitzayra, a leper, different? That he has to sit secluded in outside the camp.
What a stove,
So
everyone.
you can't,
For the
so you
stove.
can't say-
No.
No, it's so that he can't say Lashon Hara.
That what you'll see. Who Hivdil, the Gemara explains. Who Hivdil Beinish Lishte Beinish Liriyeyo. He caused separation between a man and his wife, or between a man and his friend. Therefore, the
Oh, so
Torah
he
says
can-
he has
so
to
he
sit alone
loses.
because
So he
it's me the
loses.
connected me there, right?
Yeah, so he kind of.
He caused 2 people to what's the word? He caused
Separate.
conflict or some sort of
Distance.
distancing between people. So he has to be distanced from people. Amar Rabbi Yehuda ben Levi, or possibly it's Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yehuda ben Levi we had once before, but we also had it corrected. Ma'anishtan a Mitzayra. Why is a Mitzayra different? Sham Mitzayra Yavish Neitzi Parim Tarasi, that Mitzayra has to bring 2 birds as its atonement. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem says, Hu Asam Aisi Pitut. He does the act of chirping. Lefikach HaMitzayra Yavi Karban Patit. Therefore, he has to bring a bird, a carbon that chirps. You know, we said about the internet. We said it's called the web, and it's called a net. And one of the there's the bite out of the apple. You know, it all has these things that it's going to catch you, and then it doesn't have an exit. There's only the escape button.
But just remember that things that go viral,
They go
always
viral.
due to a virus.
That's right.
Oh my
What they
gosh.
say?
Loading them up, man. You're super.
Taner Rabbanan. The rabbis turn in a brisa. Leisisnes achicha bilvavecha. Should not hate your brother in your heart. The Gemara is going to explain what this means, because Yachal la yakeno la yistrenav la yikalaleno, if they adjust that word. Maybe it means that you shouldn't hit him, you shouldn't slap him, you shouldn't curse him. Talmud leimer bil vavecha, you shouldn't hate him in your heart. It's not forbidding those things.
So
Those
you
things
hit
are
him with
other.
your stomach, like, what's the
No, those you shouldn't. Those laws of not hitting him, that goes under a different prohibition. Here,
But if you just, let's just say you go and you hit him now, and then you...
1 second, hit or hate? This pasuk
No,
is
let's
referring
just
to
say
hate.
you hit, and then you ask for forgiveness, and he doesn't.
Oh,
he doesn't
so look at
forgive.
this. Look at this.
So
Look at this. It says don't. Maybe it means don't hit him. Talmud leimer bil vavecha. It comes to tell us in your heart. But this prohibition is only talking about in the heart. There's other prohibitions for hitting and that, but this is just in the heart. How do you know?
So how can that cause separation? How can that be lashon hara?
No, it's not
It's just-
lashon hara.
It's not.
This is a separate pasuk. Leisisna sachicha bel vavecha is just a prohibition not to hate someone in your heart. Actually, it says that if you go and you tell him that I have hard feelings because of this and that, then you're not violating the prohibition because you've exposed it. It's only to keep it concealed. So how do we know that if someone sees that his friend does something that's disgusting, something that's shameful, that you're obligated to go and tell him, to rebuke him? Where do we know that from? There's a pasuk. It says you shall surely rebuke. Let's say you rebuked him, but he says, I'm not listening to you. How do you know that you should tell him again? Should surely rebuke. The techiach actually could be read in passive. He shall be rebuked. I think. Maybe even if it's going to change his face color, that means embarrass him. Because you shouldn't raise a sin upon him. That means that you shouldn't cause sin, you shouldn't cause embarrassment when you rebuke someone.
Or how should you rebuke him without?
I guess in private.
I'm saying even if it is in private, he might not get it. Or
I guess in the most way that will cause the least embarrassment.
that's why we have for bring-ins.
That's the secret. Very good. You got to the bottom of the heart of it all. Tanya.
He's a Gilgal father.
This is Superman. Just.
Amar Reb Tarfon. Reb Tarfon says, Tamani, Im yesh b'dar zeh shemekabel teichacha. Or, I wonder if there's anyone in this generation that's able to either accept teichacha or to give teichacha properly. There's different girsayos here. To give rebuke. He says, Im amarlai, because nowadays if someone says to someone else, Tol kesim ben inecha, it's supposed to be ben shinecha. There's something between your teeth. You have to clean your teeth. There's a little twig, a little splinter between your teeth. So amarlai, the guy responds back, Tol karim ben inecha, take the beam from between your eyes, which means that why are you telling me? You have it much worse. You think you're so.
He rebuttals.
Yeah.
But it says to accept rebuke. If you are giving rebuke, then if you're able to give the rebuke right, then he might
Accept
do
it better.
rightly. Yeah, he might accept
Yes,
it
so
better.
that's interesting because there's two girsayos here from Reb Tarfon. One girs is Reb Tarfon doesn't know if there's anyone nowadays that knows how to accept teichacha.
Right, I'm saying.
And
So
then
if you did
but
it
there's another
right,
girsa
Almost had to give.
that there's no one here,
No,
there's no one
no,
nowadays
no.
that knows how to give it right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's so the other girsa fits with
That
what
was
you're
that
saying,
generation.
right? In Reb Tarfon's days.
Nowadays it's like dime a dozen.
Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says, "Tamani mish b'dar zeh sheyidei leichiach." I wonder if there's anyone today that knows how to give teichacha. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri says, "Meir ani alai shemayim v'aretz." Heaven and earth can testify on me. Shaharbi pam laka Akiva al yadi. That Rabbi Akiva was hit because of me. Is that the way they write that?
Lashed.
Was lashed. It was punished many times in my account. Why? She
No
see
way
kabel
it was
alav
lashed.
lifnei.
Who says lash? He translates it as lash? No way.
She'isi Kaiva Lefnei.
Never happened.
It's supposed to be Rabbi Gamliel Beribi, the great Rabbi Gamliel. I used to complain to Rabbi Gamliel about him. V'kolshken she'safti bayava, she'hisif biyava, and all the more he gave me more love. Don't rebuke a fool or a jester because he will hate you. Rebuke a wise man and he will love you.
One of the things that you can use the Kalvachim where the Rabbi said that somebody cannot accept rebuke. Maybe he'll accept it so much that he'll love him, but he won't actually accept the actual rebuke. Because it doesn't say that doesn't happen in our generation.
I think the explanation is that a wise man wants the rebuke because he wants to improve himself. So when you give a wise man rebuke, he's going to love you because he says, "Oh, thank you. Now I'm going to be able to do it better."
So it's saying
And
that
the
so
fool,
it's saying that the normal people won't be able to accept it, but
the fool is going to say, "Don't tell me. I know what I'm doing."
So it only says the people who are not accepting.
So
Probably.
you don't tell them?
Oh, so let's see the next Gemara.
So how do you know? How do you know if you can give him a rebuke? How do you know if he's a tzaddik?
You have to use your judgment. You have to use your judgment.
The way you know it says Re'echa. If he's not your friend, you can't rebuke him.
Very good. Very
one
interesting.
If he's not your friend, he's not going to accept your rebuke. You're not allowed to rebuke him.
That's true.
So if he's your friend, you know if he's a fool or smart.
You're a good uncle. See?
Baimine Rabbi Yehuda Brei, the Reb Shimon. Good. Ben Pazi me Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon ben Pazi asked, what? How does this make sense?
Rabbi Yehuda ben Shimon asked his father.
No, I have a correction here. Oh, Rabbi Yehuda Brei, the Reb Shimon ben Pazi asked of Reb Shimon ben Pazi. Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Reb Shimon ben Pazi, asked his father. Good. Teichacha l'shma. If you give rebuke for the sake of heaven, sometimes people give rebuke because they want to show that they're superior to the other person. But if you give rebuke for the sake of heaven, va'anava shaloi l'shma, or you don't give rebuke, not for a good reason, but what's the reason why you don't give him rebuke? Because you don't want him to hate you. So you live and let live. Live and let live is not because you care, not because you care about him. You do it because you care about yourself. You don't want to fight.
No, I'm saying, would you get a bear for not doing it?
For not doing rebuke? That's the Gemara's question here. Well, is that the Gemara's question here? It does say that someone that's able to rebuke and doesn't rebuke, there's something wrong with that. So you need to take that opportunity. But the Gemara asks, Haminayu Adifa, which one is better? Not to cause a fight or to give the teichacha? Amalei, V'leimoidis, do you not agree? Da navalishma Adifa, that it's better to have humility. This is called humility, but not for the sake, for the right. Humility here means like live and let live. Don't make yourself superior to the other person and tell him off. This means allow him to be more accepting. It says that's better, even though it's for the wrong reason. Because the master said that humility is the best, is the most superior. And and even if it's for the wrong reason. This is a very famous Gemara. Rav Yehuda says in the name of his teacher, Rav, person should always do Torah mitzvahs, even if it's for the wrong intent. Why? If you do it for the wrong reason,
then you'll start getting
it'll come to the right reason. You have to practice first. Once you get into it, then you'll see the right reason will come, the right intention. What's an example of teichacha lishma, rebuke for the right reason, and humility for the wrong reason? That means refraining from rebuke. Bihad Rav Huna v'Chia Barav. Rav Huna and Chia Barav.
So this is going to be an example?
Yeah.
That's
Haviyasvi Kamei de Shmuel. Very interesting, because usually Rav Huna is a student of Rav. And here we have Rav Huna and Chia Barav are sitting in front of Shmuel. which was the other yeshiva. This is the early years. They had Rabbi Yaakov Yosef and Yeshiva Yitzchak Elchanan. The other yeshiva. Yeah, those options.
170 streets apart.
So Amalei Chia Barav says to Shmuel, Chazi Mar de Kamitzarli. See, he's bothering me. So this is Chia Barav is telling Shmuel that Rav Huna is bothering him. Kabel Allah de Sulei Mitzarli. So he said he's not going to do it again. And then Basud Dinafik, after Chia Barav left. So there's a conversation now between Rav Huna and Shmuel. Amalei Hachiv Hachi Ka'avid. I was bothering him because this and this is what he was doing. He did that to me, or he was doing something inappropriate. So Amalei, so Shmuel tells to Rav Huna, so why didn't you bring that up when he said that? Why do you have to say I'm not going to bother him anymore? Why didn't you bring it up? I didn't want to embarrass a descendant of Rav. I didn't want the descendant of Rav to get embarrassed through my hands.
So is this
So this was it was, he did not do the Teichacha, but he did a Nava Shalei Lishma.
Why is it Shalei Lishma? Sounds very good,
It's,
very
right.
legit.
It says that this provides an example of rebuke for its own sake, as Rav Huna originally rebuked Rav only when Shmuel was not present, and of humility not for its own sake,